for our King of the Mountain Empire.
This is our second week of the new season, and in our first match, Lou Marshall's going to bowl against Joseph Hudson. And then in the second match, Mike Cumbo's going to bowl against Jessica Gasteiger.
And we're going to have 3 from last week on this week's show, Stan.
That's right, Dennis, counting the reigning Queen of the Mountain Empire, Peggy Cumbo. 3 of the 5 bowlers today are going to be repeat performers from last week.
All right, we'll be right back in just a minute with the action.
Stay tuned for some good stuff.
Marshall from Bristol against Joseph Hudson from Kingsport. Louis got 40 pins handicap.
Yeah, we got a righty against a lefty in the first match.
Oh, good shot for his first one there on TV.
Yeah, that was a great shot, just bad break. Solid 8-pin. Pretty easy spare, single pin spare right there in the middle of the lane.
And he converts a spare.
This is his first time on TV. He's a little bit nervous, but he didn't show it on that first shot.
See how Joseph does here. He's been on TV once before. Do that one good.
Yeah.
Just put straight 10 to the pit. I think Joseph's been working on his game quite a bit.
He has.
Since the last time he was on TV. He's changed the roll on his ball.
He's been
helped his pin carry a little bit. He's got a lot more forward roll on it now than what he had 6-8 months ago, I believe.
I think you're exactly right. It showed in the league over here Thursday night too. He shot like a 690 something for 3 games. He's been bowling pretty well the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, he starts with it. Oh, I thought that was a strike for sure. The way the pin, I couldn't see that 7.
I couldn't either.
Standing in my way.
Sounded awful good and looked good, but got a bad break just like Louis did.
We're going to have to tell him when he throws the next shot, just get out of the way so we can see what it does. And he covers the spare.
Yep.
Trying to make a 7-10 there, wasn't he?
It jumped across there, but it wasn't anything to hit.
Well, looked at week 7.
Yep. Both of them thrown 2 good shots to start out with. Doesn't look like the nerves are taking any kind of effect on them. I noticed we had some really, really interesting matches during the qualifying this week.
Didn't get there, Fred. Yeah, Lou got here. He won his first match against Ray McDonald. Lou shot 306 with his handicap. Ray could have had a 300 game and wouldn't have won. And
Joseph had 260 something his first game.
He beat Aaron Murray, who was our high qualifier. Shot 268 against Aaron's 221.
Yeah, I think
another one of these real good young bowlers that's in this area that got a lot of promise. Aaron, he was even on, I believe, the Team USA for the youth bowlers.
Right, for the juniors. He's on the USA team. He started out with 7 in a row in his match. Joseph had 8 in a row. It must have been a real humdinger. All right, he covered
wide on that and left the 3. Converted the spare all right.
You'll notice Joseph's wiping his ball off before he starts to bowl, and then he's patting the ball down with some rosin. It's actually illegal to have anything on the surface of the ball before you bowl, so you have to make sure any foreign substances are wiped off before you throw the ball.
Another good shot.
Yeah. He's thrown 2 really good shots on the right side. The one on the left wasn't that bad. He just didn't carry.
Just didn't carry. I think he'd take a shot that good this time.
Sure.
I believe the pins would fall a little different for him. Well, Lou, on his second match, he shot 228. He beat Wendell White. So that's 2 matches that he won. Joseph Hudson beat Scott Slimp his second match to make it to this first TV match.
Yeah, Joseph had to pick up a fairly tough.
Well, it went from a 7 to a solid 10. He's making the good shots. So.
Joseph had to pick up a fairly tough spare in that 10th frame, that match with Scott, in order to get through there.
He needed a marking attempt. He missed a head pin. Called picket fence there, but he made it. No problem. Ooh, just barely hung that one on. But Joseph just barely did get in. He was a 16th qualifier. He qualified last spot, but you know, all you got to do is make the match play.
That's right.
Anything can happen.
Once you get in there, you got a clean slate when you go head to head. So.
Well, all right, Louis come back over.
I think Louis brought some of his fans from Bristol down here.
Yeah, well, that give him a 20. He's got a 28-pin lead right now.
I know his number 1 fans back there because his wife's defending her title today, so could have another. Oh, I'm sorry, I got him mixed up with Mike Cumbo.
The next match.
I'm getting ahead of myself. His wife is here, though.
Well, he got that in mind, but he's on a strike, so that's as good as 9 spare if he makes it.
Next week we'll be at your place in Kingsport.
Yeah, we'll be at Warpath next week. All right, he made the spare where he should have had his first ball, but that's all that matters. Yeah, when you get to the match play, it's 1-game matches and anything can happen. Joseph he's barely squeaked in there in that last spot, and he had to bowl that number 1 qualifier. Aaron had averaged 250 qualifying this morning, but he just was on a pair that didn't do real. Oh, Joseph got that wide. 2-8-10.
Yep, he got it wide. It just skidded a little bit, didn't quite make it back to the pocket.
That's the big thing with a little bit slicker conditions that you see. You get a little wide, and that 2-8-10 is, well, you got one of those.
They're about even scratch, but he's still got to pick up that 40 pin differential. I'm glad to see him taking his time there, not rushing. He's composing himself. Come back with a good shot. That one looks much better. Still a little light.
A little light, yeah. Well, these lanes were used during qualifying, but then they come back and redress them. They strip the old oil off and put the fresh coat down, and a little bit tighter than what the lanes they may have bowled match play on, but you know, don't think it should make a big difference. They were throwing the ball pretty good. It was warm-ups there. He had a few strikes. So.
Yeah, they both seem to have a fairly good shot to the pocket. The ball doesn't seem to be underreacting or overreacting too much.
Actually, Louis' first match against Ray, he started with the first 9. He thought he was going to shoot 300. He left the 7-10 in the 10th frame.
Well, I guess that might be his all-time high game. Then I think he said 265 or 266 was his high game in competition. So I guess that might have been this 266. Yep. He bowls in one league at Belmont, and he said that was the highest game he ever bowled. This one here.
The first round of match play, we had 2 bowlers start with the first 9. Darrell Pruitt from here in Johnson City, he started with the first 9. All right, we come back with a strike after that open frame. And Joseph can make up a few of them pins. He's got to get going though. He's running out of frames.
Yeah, in that qualifying match, Darrell Pruitt and John Ross, they tied with the 278.
Yeah.
And had to have a roll off. It's really tough to lose on a score like that and not get in the
10th frame
match
roll
play.
off we had. That's a better shot.
Yep. He tightened his line up there and didn't swing it out quite as much and flushed it right in the pocket.
Yeah, and some other first round action. Scott Slimp beat Tim Flanagan. He had 279 to 234. And of course, we told you about Louis beating Ray McDonald 306 to 210, and Wendell White beating Nicole Barrett their first match. Well, you still come up thin, a little bit light. Just can't get the ball up high enough on that lane.
Yeah, Scott made it through the top 8, and he's had some tough luck. He's gotten right up in there and then barely lost the final match 2 or 3 times.
Needs to make sure he converts this. Now he's still he's not out of this match, but he's going to. I believe he's going to need some help. He's going to have some strikes, but he's going to need some help.
You're exactly right. He's going to have to put something together.
Yeah, he can't make the pins he's down. He can't make up just by striking out.
A strike here would be pretty tough.
Well, that's a double. That pretty much.
We've got a dead even match scratch, but Joseph's still 40 pins
40
behind.
pins down. And I don't think he can get the 40 pins now in the 2 frames. Just because the most Joseph can get is 206. Louis would have to open both the 9th and the 10th. Well, there's a bad pin count. Anything is still possible. We won't say it's over, that's for sure.
Nope.
Oh,
they got 3 of them. Joseph's going to have to strike out pretty much.
he's got to strike out, and Louis is going to have to open again for him to, like I said, he's going to need some help.
205. Yeah, I think if Louis marks in the 10th frame, he'll.
I believe Joseph would like to finish on that lane because he's got that lane down. It's just, that left-hand lane. This is a must-strike ball. Whether he'll move a little bit right with his body or try to just get the ball a little further left.
He's going to have to do one or the other.
It's going to have to be a
that
little
was a pretty
further
good
left.
shot.
And that's what he got it there. That was a key strike. Now he's got to have this one.
Sometimes just the least little adjustment with your feet or with your target can make a world of difference.
Doesn't take but a quarter of an inch. I mean, as powerful as these balls are and the way the pin action is, a quarter of an inch makes a big difference.
That one looks pretty good too.
He got the
wall
wall
shot.
shot. That's the one he had to have that. Well, he's back in the match. That one just that one forced Louis to mark.
And that's what you were talking about last week too, Dennis, with Peggy. Remember how you were talking about she kept the ball in play and kept it right around the head pin? You keep that ball right around there, just about anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, he carried that light wall shot that time, and the last time on that, in the sixth frame, he hit almost the wall shot and left the 4-8. Very thin. That one's 10. Finished out 205.
Yeah, that field ball was really important because he's going to make.
Louis got to have
mark.
a mark and get 7 pins.
Right.
Well, just because he gets his first mark, it's not going to do it. If he spares and 6, we could have a tie, but he's got to get that spare first. He looks like he threw it pretty good. Okay. Got that. That pretty much did it.
As long as he doesn't throw big forward and throw one in the gutter, he'll be all right.
Or a big 5. I have seen him get the big 5, but he still should be able to get a couple of them.
Yeah.
He just needs 7 pins on the next two balls. Well, it's going Brooklyn, but it's all he needed.
That's all we needed. Looks like it's going to be 208 or 209 to 205.
Yep, close match. That one little shot that got away from Joseph in the 5th where he left that 2-8-10 and
yep.
Okay, 208 to 205. Louis Marshall's our winner. We'll be back with our second match. Mike Cumbo against Jessica Gastiger in just a minute.
One of the great things about living in...
Here we go.
Mike Cumbo against Jessica Gastiger, your daughter, on TV again.
Got a couple of repeat performers from last week. They didn't bowl against each other, but they both got to this position last week.
Oh, we could have another husband-wife match this week. Oh,
yeah.
Boy, Mike threw that one right there.
Mike's bowling with a 31-pin handicap, and Jessica's rolling with 60 pins, so he's going to have to pick up about 29 between now and the 10th frame.
Well,
it looks like a pretty good start.
They both threw those like they don't need any handicap at all.
Yeah.
I believe this match might be a little bit higher scoring than our last one from a little.
It could be. Mike's got a little incentive to get back at the missus. Pay her back for beating him last week.
Yeah.
But he said either way they're going to be going to the Olive Garden for lunch this afternoon. So.
Well, Jessica threw that one really good. Left that solid 10.
That was a good shot.
She's rolling the ball a lot better than what I believe she's been practicing a lot. You've been working with her?
We have a little bit. Not anything extensive, but she bowls in the league up here, and I stay up and watch her. And
she's throwing the ball a lot better than she was.
How to adjust and work on her release a little bit.
Last year, she's looks like she's a lot solider at the line. Well, Mike starts off with a double.
Yep, he's lined up pretty good. Both of them
trying to
two good
eat
shots.
away at the. He got 10 of those 29. He was back.
Yep.
Well, Jessica bowled good. She shot. She had her first match. She had a 202, and the next match she had 293 with her handicap. So she struck out in the 10th frame that game. Well,
just a hair light on
got that in a little light.
She started off kind of slow in the 3-game qualifying. I'm not going to tell you all what she had for the first 2 games, but she pulled it out there in the third game. And I think she qualified, 12th or 14th? Something
Yeah,
like that.
she qualified 12th. There was a couple of them shot some pretty good last games to move up in the standing.
It's
threw that second ball about the same place he threw the first ball.
Yeah, he did. Just a hair light.
That's another good shot. Well, come up a little light. Oh, she got a good wiggle out of it. It was almost a...
Yeah, got 9 in the wiggle. That was an excellent count for that ball. That could have very easily been a split.
Could have been that 2-8-10, the 2-4-10. When you get one right in there,
you get 9
you've got
count
the
on that
possibility of leaving a lot of stuff, and none of it is good to look at. Okay. And she covered that spare. Well, Mike got here to the match play. He beat Daniel Carter. His first match, 228, 226.
Yeah, that was a tight one.
Yeah, and then he beat John Ross, 245, 204. John got to that point where him and Darrell Pruitt had the 278 tie. Jessica got that in a little wide and missed the head pin, got the 7-pin count.
Well, so far both of them have left makeable spares. It's not been
Well, you know, both bowlers have got some handicaps, so they're not going to be right there at that pocket just about every time like we saw Joseph. Yeah. Covered the spare.
Yep.
Not the textbook cover, but she covered it. That's all that mattered. Probably had a strike if she'd have threw that ball
that's
first.
What I was going to say. If she rolled that one there first shot, she might have got a strike. He pulled that one a little bit.
Yeah, pulled that one a bunch.
Yeah, he got a little fast there and raised up just a little bit as he released the ball, and it went left a little bit, but he's got a fairly easy standard spare.
He converts a spare. He's 18 pins behind going into the 5th frame, so.
Looks pretty good. He covered it well.
He converted.
They both look pretty comfortable. I guess they're being on TV last week might have helped a little bit.
Well, you know, you got the momentum, and and when you get on it 2 weeks in a row, it kind of helps you settle down a little bit. I know I'm not as nervous this week as I was last week. Hadn't been on a long time. You know how that goes.
There's another one.
Really enjoy it. Well,
pulled that one a little bit too.
Yeah.
Not quite as
Pulled
much.
Up through the nose.
That got it back to about a 2-mark differential now, somewhere right around there. Mike works for UPS and so he really enjoys bowling.
I don't know. Oh, slid right by it.
It looked like he stood in the same place through the same shot he did for the 610 and didn't adjust for the extra pin being up there.
Just hoped the ball would hook a little more and didn't do it.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, it's a good shot.
Well, she wallered that 7-pin right off there. And that's what you really want to do if your opponent has a little hiccup. The best thing to do is come back with a good shot and try and put a little extra pressure on it.
Yeah, good. Now Jessica got to this point. She beat Brian Arrington 202 to 183, and then she beat Mike Durbin 293 to Mike's 245. Even though he opened in the 10th, he was out of the match, and he got there because he beat. He had a 225 his first game against Phil Parsons.
Yeah,
so,
Mike bowled really, really well today.
Looked like he was throwing the ball real good.
Yeah, he averaged 240 something for his 4 games today.
Well, she covered that spare good.
Yeah, no harm done.
Didn't hurt her. She was on that strike. That's right. She was right there. So
that was a key shot. You know, if she'd have missed that, it would have been.
Yeah, she'd have been handing that open frame that Mike had right back to him. And
that looked a little smoother. He stayed down a little better on that shot and laid it right in there.
Forgot about that open frame and come right back with a key shot. Got it right to the pocket where he needed it.
And he didn't get one here and make up for that open. Get those pins back that he lost.
Close the gap a little bit.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah, that was two excellent shots right there.
That was two of them, and it was just 10 to the pit.
I like what he did. You know, he threw that bad shot and then just put it behind him and came back and threw a couple really nice shots.
Well, there's another one. She had a bad shot that last time with a 5-pin count. Just forgot and come right back with.
She seems to be rolling the ball just a little bit better on the right side. She needs to figure something out over there.
Well, that left lane, even Joseph had trouble on it. He said he kept going light on it, believed it was tighter.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Well, she came back with a double of her own.
Answered his double with her double.
I'm going to have to get her to bring me out here one afternoon and give me some lessons. Yeah.
She's really got good roll on the ball. No, there's
You might get a
pull
Brooklyn
one
there. Nope.
Pulled it right up there and left that 6'10" again.
If that thing would have just crossed over just a hair more, he might have tripped that 6'10" out of there.
About another inch over there, he probably could have had that.
He definitely needs to make this spare.
Yeah, he's got to.
Don't chop. He's all right.
He covered it. It's going to put him 30-some pins down, though.
Yeah.
7th frame, because she's on that double. She's going to have 206 possible, so that's about 34 pins. He's going to be down 3 frames to go.
Yeah, Jessica will
not
finish
looking
first.
real good of having another rematch from last week, but anything is still possible. Well, he pulled that one up, held pocket, with that solid 4.
Just a hair high. But I don't think at this point spares are going to help him a whole lot. Jessica's going to have to falter in order for him to win this match. And she'll be closing it out, so he'll know what he has to do one way or the other.
She throws another strike in the 9th frame. They can do the turn out the lights that the party's over.
Yep. It looks pretty good, Dennis. Man, I wonder what she had for breakfast this morning. I don't know if you might have had an extra bowl of Wheaties or something. She's thrown some good shots this game.
She's thrown some really good shots. That puts her, my gosh, she's already in the 250s. He can't get but 221. Or no, he can go 241 if he strikes out. Tenth frame.
Maybe she's wanting to get another shot at Peggy after last week.
I believe so.
She bowled Peggy in that first match. Maybe she's striving for a rematch.
No, she's got the wall shot going too. That's going to put her in the 290s with her handicap. Actually give her, she's shooting 230 scratch.
I think she had a 230 something in her last
in her
match.
her second match in match play. She had a 233.
Yeah.
I believe she's got had a 232 there. I give her a 292 with her handicap.
Yeah, she left that big 4 in a good place. Of course, it didn't matter. He got a wiggle, but didn't quite carry. He rode a pretty good game. He just had a couple bad frames, but Jessica just got a few more strikes.
Yeah. So our next match is going to be Louis Marshall against Jessica. The winner of that will bowl Peggy. And we could end up with another Queen of the Mountain Empire.
We could have. Mike sure doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. There was 30 people up here, and he ended up in the final 5, so he's put on a good performance. 2 weeks in a row.
And he got 9. That gave him 229 with his handicap. So, folks, we'll be back in just a minute with our next match.
At Easterly Coleman Furniture, you'll receive the absolute.
Jessica starting the match. Louis was a higher qualifier, and he said he wanted to finish first, put a little pressure on her if it come down to a close match. So, all right, she starts off.
Hit that one a little thin. That's
Jessica with 60 pins handicap, and Louis with 40, so there's 20 pins difference. He's going to have to make up. Yeah, that's her.
Well, there's 10 of them gone, 11 of them gone.
Forgot he didn't have his ball on the rack. He didn't take any warm-ups and said he was ready to go. So set it back here for that last match. Looks like a good shot.
Yeah, it's a real good shot.
Up that little week 7.
Yep. These guys are bowling to see who's going to take on Peggy Combo in the final match of the day. Peggy's been sitting back here all day watching her husband work his way up through the ranks and just biding her time. And he picked that up perfectly.
He made that.
That was a good spare.
Last time he shot that 7-pin on that lane, he ran it off in the gutter.
Yeah, I think the last time he used a different ball, and I think it was in the last frame when he didn't really need it.
Yeah.
But he certainly covered that one well. That looks pretty good too, Dennis. Right in there. That was high flush.
Got it to 9 pins, right?
Yep. That looks a little better. Left a 10 pin.
A little bit further outside, and it come in and took the 5, but left that 10.
No, I was going to mention earlier in the telecast to you, you know, it's not too hard to roll a good game every now and then, but roll a good game every time when you get in a little lengthy format like this.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have a bad game every now and then.
Oh,
it's just
you
a
got
question
to. You know, they're
when
not,
you're going to have it.
They're not top average. It doesn't matter even the top average bowlers. They throw it.
Right.
Bad game. You can't. Oh, tripped up 4 that time.
Yep. Yeah, she needed that. She got off a little shaky start there the first couple frames. Those missed spares can come back and bite you.
The spares is what really is the key to these. I mean, she threw a good shot on her first ball there in the second and just didn't quite carry.
Yeah. Louis taking the lead now.
Got that wall shot going for him.
Yeah, she really got a break. That first frame, he could have had a strike too. He should have been even another 10 or 11 pins down.
Yeah, just didn't quite kick it out.
He lost that
unusual.
one.
I mean,
That was a good 8 count on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that ball could have been a board further left. It would have been a 0 count, I believe. It was hanging out there on the edge.
Well, I noticed he's sweating a little bit, probably from the TV lights, and I saw him look down his hand. Might have had a little excessive moisture on there or something, just caused him to lose it. But he threw that one good.
Barely got it up to it.
Yeah. Jessica needs to come back with a good shot here and even this match back up. That looks pretty good. Man, who is this woman?
She come back. Notice the big difference is when she throws the ball, she follows all the way through with it. Gives that ball a lot better roll. And Louis got some roll, but
His
it's
is a little more of a
well, he's
more
real
side
slow
roll.
with the ball, so it picks up roll, but he really short arms it. He just tries to lift it by bending his elbow instead of following his arm, extending through with the ball. Well, that ball,
That
a
just
while
didn't
ago,
quite
she threw
finish.
one, and she just ripped the 5 out. That
Yep.
one, it just didn't have the drive to it on the back end. The ball hadn't picked up the roll. Louis, watching him bowl, reminds me of a professional bowler that bowled a lot back in the 60s, Don Helling, and he was a left-hander, and that's the way he bowled. He threw it and kind of cut it off like that, but he bowled really good.
Well, you got to do what works for you. That's the one neat thing about this game. Everybody's got their own style, and you know what works for one person may not work for another. You just have to work at it and find out what fits your game. And he threw that one pretty well. That was right in there. Yeah, he's putting a little heat on now. That split wasn't too bad, but those 2 easy spares she missed are probably going to come back to haunt her.
Yeah. Well, she did it in the first 2 frames. That kind of loosened him up. That let him make up early. It didn't put. Still had 8 frames. So I mean, after he bowled those 2, so
Just a hair light on that one. That
drove
4,
that 5-pin out of there, but
Yeah.
left that little bit of 7.
The 4 just flopped over in the gutter and couldn't take the 7-pin out.
Just give him. He converts this.
Oh, he got it. When he set it down, I thought he'd pulled it, but
Thought he missed it. So that gives him a 14-pin lead in the 5th frame. So
yeah, it can still go either way. It's not a runaway, but I don't think she can afford to lose too much more. That looks pretty good.
well, she come back.
Yeah.
That one hit lighter than the last one, but that was that pin action off of the wall.
Actually, from bowling here, I'm a firm believer that I think that hit right there probably carries more often than a flush hit does in this house. It just seems like that thin wall shot just seems to work a pretty good percentage of the time. I think having new pins in here jumping around probably helps a little bit too.
No, that one's going to be light.
Yeah. Yeah, she's lucky she didn't leave a washout on that one.
All right, she made that off the wall.
Yeah, she used the whole lane on that one.
Yeah. I think that's only 2nd time she's missed a head pin.
Yeah, she's been pretty
2
consistent.
games, so she's been right around it.
That looks pretty
He threw
good.
that one pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks like. Yeah, left that 7. That was a little bit. That was more in the pocket than his other 2.
Yeah.
A little bit higher up. Still left that solid 7 there.
He looks really comfortable shooting his cross lane spares. Even though he barely made that last one, he sets up and goes at it pretty good. He got that one.
13-pin lead. And it's got
Yep. 3 frames to
3-7
go.
frames, so we've got 3 frames here. Hold on. And he'll be going for King of the Mountain Empire.
That's
Left
3
it
in a
again.
row.
3 in a row. That's 4-pin laid right there in the gutter, though. That's
I think I
not
asked you
quite
on
enough.
a show last year about what your opinion was on what kind of adjustment to make to take that corner pin out.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on the type of lane condition you're bowling. I mean, different lanes I find that you've got to make different adjustments. Some of them you just try to move a little bit further to the outside to get the ball to grip a little more. Maybe even change balls, get a ball that's picking up a little bit more roll a little sooner. Number of different, usually it's a little bit different for each house. That's what makes the pros so good. They know that little bitty adjustment to make. And I mean, you bowl in the same house all the time. You can play with it and learn what to make.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first time we've seen one of those in a while.
Yeah.
She must have had that inside a little bit on a little more oil, but it hit the pocket solid, but because it was on all the oil, never picked up a good roll.
I think on both of those splits she had a little more ball speed too. And I think it might have cut down on the reaction of the ball. That pretty much put the smoke on her, heat on her now. She's definitely going to have some strikes.
Yeah.
She's going to have to strike out to have at least.
Yeah, she's got to have a
chance.
strike here in this frame, the 9th, to set it up to go out in the 10th. Four opens, only had one spare. Just threw that one
yeah.
a lot better, looked like.
There's
She
that
got the
thin
pin
ball
action.
shot again. She can strike out for a 240 with her handicap.
Handicap. And I mean, Louis got to have marks. He ain't got to walk through with it. Uh-oh. Well, there's another one that
Boy,
could have
he
went
came-
for 0 and got 9.
Boy, that was
He
was
stepped
big.
over. He stepped over in front of me, and I couldn't see where it was going to. But last I saw it, it looked like it was headed for the channel.
When he laid it down, part of the ball was over the channel.
If he had had any more speed at all than what he's got that slow speed. It would have been
That's where that style he has paid off.
It would have been for a 0 count.
If he gets a mark here, he'll close her out.
Yeah, but he's got a mark here.
Yeah.
She can get up, and
Yeah,
if he doesn't do that, she can get up and throw 3 strikes here in the 10th and be right back with it.
Yeah, that looks pretty sweet.
Oh,
Boy, that was big.
that was big. That was real big.
Yep.
Got to have a score change here. The machine, I don't know, didn't even see the 10 pin. It wasn't the one that was wobbling. It was the 5 pin. I thought it might have counted it, and it didn't. Now we've got the score corrected and ready for Louis to shoot at that. He does.
Yeah,
need
if
to
he
make
makes
it.
this in a good count, he'll be bowling.
Well, I don't know whether he made it or not. He didn't make it.
He left the door open.
The door is open now.
She's got to have 2 strikes. But like we say, you got to get the first one before you can get the second one.
No, 33. Hope that didn't bother Jessica any. Don't believe it did.
You got to have 2 strikes.
Well, she got it out. What'd she do? She left the 10
Threw a
pin.
pretty good shot. Just
Couldn't
didn't
see
get
it. Sounded good. So that makes Louis the winner. We're going to have Louis. We'll be bowling Peggy Cumbo. Well, I believe she missed that, but it didn't really matter. So that gives Jessica 208. Louis at a 233. So we'll be back with our title match in just a minute.
go.
Louis going to start off. Peggy, being the defending champion, our reigning queen of the Mountain Empire, decided she wanted to finish first. Louis starts off with a 7-pin count.
Peggy's been sitting a long time. She threw
he
several
didn't-
warm-up shots. She'll
Yeah,
be
he kept looking at his thumb in between some practice earlier I seen, and for his very first match, and he didn't want to take any for his second or this one. He just bowled more than what his thumb is used to. I think he's got him a cheering section.
give her something to shoot at.
Well, starts off with a 6-pin count. I don't think she was quite as comfortable throwing her warm-ups as she was last week, but
Didn't seem to be.
you know, I guess she bowled there, and that's her home house
Yep.
at Belmont. And
That
you
makes
just
a
feel
difference.
makes a difference.
Makes
You
a
feel
big
more
difference.
comfortable at your own place, and but she made the spares.
Yeah.
She's still got a 20 pins difference in her handicap, so that still gives her a 20-pin lead.
They're actually rolling for a little more money than the prize money today because the winners guaranteed at least second
So
place
second
money
place
next week.
next week. That's right. Yeah, she won last week. All worst she could do is second this week. So I mean, you know, it's pretty good. Yeah, she makes a
She got it.
spare.
We'd like to encourage you guys to, if any of you are interested, to come on out and try and qualify.
Yeah, we haven't had as many but the leagues haven't started. Now that the leagues are starting next week, I'm sure we'll have more qualifiers, and prize money will go up. Okay, clipped a couple of pins off there.
Yeah, he
There's
threw that
20
one
he
pretty
was
well.
behind, so now he's made 2 of them up, plus the pin count he can get on this ball.
That looks pretty good. Oh, threw the same as the last one, just didn't quite come up enough. Same lead he had last time on that lane.
I believe the left lane is both tighter for both the right-handers and the left-handers, because that looked like it was a fairly good shot as far as the area that he was trying to keep it in for where he's hitting on lane 22. He converted to spare.
I tell you, I think he brought his cheering section with him, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I'd say the qualifiers that come over from Belmont stayed around to cheer him on. They try to
Right.
pull for their local. She's got a 6-pin count there. That cuts her lead down to 14 pins.
Yeah, she's going to have to make an adjustment and either move her target or move her feet. She's barely getting to that head pin. She covered it again.
Tell you what, she's making the spares, but they're
Yep.
not by the textbook. But as long as you get them down.
Yeah, she's doing the same thing she did last week. She's keeping the ball in play and kind of doing what she needs to do. You get 6 counts all the way up through there, you're going to end up losing a lot of pins by the time you get to the end of the game.
Oh, what that one got away from her.
You know, that's the same as an open frame, and if she doesn't convert this, she's going to lose two marks.
Yeah, that was such a bad pin count there. It was.
Yeah, that one got away from her for sure.
She's just used to different ball reaction than what she's getting here, and the way she spins it hardly picks up a roll. Last week it picked up a roll at least part of the time.
Yeah, I noticed last week the condition was a little drier. There wasn't quite as much oil, and the ball was reacting.
Well, they use a different different synthetic lane.
Right. Could have just been a different oil pattern, too. Yes. Yeah, any of you folks that are watching this telecast now, if you want to get out here and try your luck at this thing, just go by your local bowling center, either Warpath Lanes in Kingsport or here at Holiday Lanes in Johnson City or Belmont Lanes over in Bristol, and you can qualify anytime during the week. They have flyers at the counter with all the rules and regulations. If you have any questions about it, you can either call the bowling center or come by and pick up a printout of what you have to do to get on TV or have a chance to get on TV.
Yeah, what the rules are, they're available right there at the center. All you got to do is have a last year's there. All right, he made that split. He come up light again, just like he did the last shot, and had a little bit different spare, but he converted it. And if any of you's got any bowling questions you would like to ask pertaining to the tournament format or anything, or just bowling questions in general, call Holiday, Warpath, or Belmont. Peggy come back with a strike and give them your question, and they'll bring it over to us on Sunday morning when we're doing our TV show, and we'll try to answer your questions. Well, she got that one out wide.
Yep. The ball's just not giving her the reaction that she needs right now. She's going to have to make a move or she's going to lose.
She's got so much top spin on it, and the way the balls, you can drill balls different ways to compensate for that, but
that looks pretty good.
You got to be, and that was probably a good shot at that spare, but
that was a bad break right there. Yeah, for those of you that are not real familiar with bowling, there's a lot of different ways you can put those holes in the ball to get different types of reactions as far as where on the lane the ball's going to hook and what kind of reaction it's going to make when it does make one. And
the weight blocks in them and where you position that, and they really got technical with this stuff. And it's hard to use one bowling ball if you're going to bowl at 2 or 3 different bowling centers.
That's
definitely got to have more than one. Because you get a totally different reaction. Well, he made that. That looks like that's going to give him about a 17-pin lead, depending on how he does on his first ball in this frame here. But Peggy having that open there.
He lost that one. He's shaking his hand again.
He's getting a lot of good pin count. Some of these shots he's made, he could have left.
I'll tell you, that one last match where he just about went to the channel and got that 9 count, that was...
I mean, he could have had some...
Don't see that very often.
He could have had some 5-pin spares sitting down there, and he's gotten good pin counts out of these shots. Made those spares a lot easier. And he covered it up. Threw it right where he should have threw the first one, but they don't always go where we want them to, do they, Stan?
No. No, they sure don't. Now, she made just a little bit move there.
Made a better shot that time.
Hit.
Well, this match isn't over by any means. It's 15 pins difference, but we've still got 3 frames to... All it takes is a double here and an open there, and there's 20-pin swing real quick like.
Right. That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, she broke it down.
She made an adjustment to get to the head pin now. You just got to fine-tune it, but at least she's getting the ball to the pocket. That killer frame was that one where she got that one count on
One on the
the spare.
spare.
And then had to open.
Sure was.
If it wasn't for that, we'd have a pretty tight match.
Oh, it grabbed just as it got to the back, but didn't quite get enough to make that turn to cover that spare.
And for those of you that don't bowl a whole lot or are not sure where to stand to make your different spares, when you shoot those spares on the corners, you want to go diagonally across the lane.
Well, he looked like he threw that one fairly good. And he got the wall shot.
Yeah, he's not had an open yet.
His section, back here's cheering section. Isn't him on? He must have promised them all drinks.
Could very well be.
He gets set up. He doesn't take a lot of time. Uh-oh.
Well,
Threw that one through the nose. That's your key ninth frame, so but he still had a 20-some pin lead, so he just needs to make sure he gets two of these.
Right. Get those 2 pins. Might
And
be
he's
the
on that
difference.
strike.
Right. If you try to make it, you have a chance of going into.
Yeah, he was trying to make it.
Yeah. A lot of times you try and make that, and you have a chance of going in the channel and not getting anything.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd have threw that in the channel, he'd have lost 4 pins. He could have had 1-9. She could have got within 1 pin of him.
A little bit light.
If she'd have struck a 9 and 3 in the 10th, she would have been back in the lead with him getting that, But that kept him ahead on his pin count.
She's going to need to pick this up and strike out, and it still may not be enough.
Well, if she strikes out, well, it's immaterial now. He didn't make that, so that pretty much did it.
Yeah.
He just needs 5 pins.
Yeah, looks like the queen only lasted 1 week.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to have a king.
He just needs 5 pins on 2 balls, even if she does strike out. So,
got a Brooklyn.
It was that 9th frame, and she needed that strike in.
Yeah.
If she had have spared, she could have forced him to mark too. But she just don't have any reaction whatsoever on the ball. It's just pretty much goes right where she's laying it down.
It sure does.
Whatever direction it's headed when it comes off her hand, that's just about.
But even though she's losing this match, it's probably going to make her a better bowler in the long run, because the more different conditions that you bowl on, learn how to make those adjustments, it'll help improve your average as you go.
Yeah, she just doesn't have enough roll on the ball. She ended up with a 195 with her handicap. So that looks like a good shot. It was.
That was it. Well, we officially have a winner now.
Yeah. That should put him in the 220 range. So Lou Marshall, Louie, is going to be our new king of the Mountain Empire, and I guess he'll be coming to Warpath next week. Defend his title. Threw that one out. Real slow. Got that 5-pin count. There's one of those low pin counts that would be a tough spare, but it doesn't matter now.
Well, he sealed it up with his first ball.
There he goes, and he's covered a spare. So that makes Louie Marshall finish with a 223, so he is king of the Mountain Empire. And folks, we'll be right back with our presentation in just a minute.